What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Black Hole Unleashed. I'm your guy, MP. That man over there with the Prince lighting in the background. That's my man, Jay Long. And as always, we got a great show lined up for you guys. I mean, we have everything from a guy named Captain to a guy named the Violator. It's going to be a great lineup. And Jay, man, what's your thoughts?
Yeah. Oh, you are going to get plenty of my thoughts after this Super Bowl victory that I predicted. But man, I'm always joined by Coach John Gruden. He's going to give some feedback too. He's a yes man these days. But yeah, we do have a really fun show. We're going to talk to Captain Jack Rackham from Tampa Bay, man. And also to our guy, he got the call, and, so many Raiders got the call the last couple of days, but our man Violator got the call, and he's going to be joining the Ford Hall of Fans. So, of course, we got to have him back there. We got to at least say congratulations to a guy that means so much to the organization. And, of course, like I said, man, when there's a guy named Captain Jack Rackham involved, it's going to be a damn fun time. So we're going to get to that eventually, but, I'll let you speak now.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and do that thing. Let's find out what everybody's talking about while they're getting their heads chopped. Let's do a little barbershop chop.
It's time for Barbershop Chop.
Now, you know what? Normally, before we kick this off, let's do this. Everybody probably did something over the weekend on Super Bowl. If it's sleep, eat, drink, or be merry, tell us what you guys ate that was delicious, and even more importantly, what were you sipping on? What were you drinking this Super Bowl Sunday that made the game more bearable? Because, man, it was a snoozer. So it was, man. It was, even though you said that they were going to win. So I got to hand it to you.
Hey, man, absolutely. Everyone should hand it to me because, I will tell Sarah and Josh that, 8 pounds, 6 ounce baby Jesus, Tom Brady pulled his latest miracle. He walked on water and got a 7th ring for those beautiful, perfect fingers of his to wrap around those deflated balls that he's throwing. Oh, my God. What a boring game, but Tampa Bay won. Tom Brady did it again. And they did, that defense. Okay, I know Tom Brady gets the love, but that defense of Tampa Bay really stepped up. They were, what is the recipe for every young athletic quarterback whenever they're having, just like we talked about Cam Newton a couple years ago when he brought that team to, against the Broncos and everything, you got to put these guys in the dirt. You got to put them down. You got to hit them. You got to get them thinking about hitting and being hit and everything else, because if they get into the rhythm, that's when these guys can burn you. So what did that defense do? Well, I don't know if they slipped the offensive lineman from KC some money or whatever, but they absolutely destroyed them on the front lines of the game, man. They were running through like they had no you might as well be playing some 7-on-7 football or something like that, because there was no offensive line for young Patrick Mahomes, and you got what you got.
Yeah, no, they got what they got, and like you said, when you look at it, they put pressure on that kid, and it was something I'd never seen. I knew in my mind, I really thought that Tampa Bay was going to have to be up by at least 14. So when Kansas City would start their rolling back, then it'd be an interesting game. But that never happened. Man, they were in his ass like a suppository. That's right. I said that twice on this show. And it was no hope for him. His toe, they started blaming his toe. I was like, his toe wasn't hurting last week. It was not hurting last week. So let's not talk about no baby pinky toe. This ain't the show. This ain't the time. They got to him. They threw him out of his rhythm, like you were saying. But the thing that's even crazier is next year. Oh, man, he's going to have a chip on his shoulder, baby.
You know what? Next year is next year. We never know, because, you can look at all the stats for some of the all-time greats in the NFL. Dan Marino went with he was a young man. He never made it back. It's hard to believe that, talking about Tom Brady, You look at years 27 through 36 for Tom Brady, he didn't win jack crap in his prime. And so many guys go to it. I mean, Elway went when he was young, didn't go back to the very end, and it was almost more about the supporting cast than anything else. So you never really know. Is he primed for it? Is Patrick Mahomes primed for it? Can he do it? But let's just pump the brakes on all that Tom Brady comparison, greatest of all time moniker that people are throwing up on Patrick Mahomes right now, especially when he's with the Chiefs. Come on, man, let's pump all that. When you have weapons like Tyreek Hill and guys like that, they can make you look like superstars. But eventually all these guys want to get paid, and they're not going to be able to pay them all. And they've shown in the Super Bowl they need a freaking offensive line. So what are you going to do?
Yeah, no, you hit on some good points there, and it's so funny that everyone thinks that Brady went consecutively through his whole career, but there was a void. There was a void with
his prime. Patriots. It's crazy. His prime, he didn't win jack.
Yeah, no, and so it's especially with them being in our division. It seems as if we may have that recipe to beat these guys, but is it something that we're going to be able to do consecutively or consistently? Because, like you said, everybody's going to want to get paid. We're going to have to give somebody some money. Right now, we have a young defensive line, going into it. But I think we're going to need somebody else to be in that piece, baby. I think we're going to need someone else. And like you said, is that someone else? Mr. Richard Sherman.
Oh, we're seeing more and more of Richard Sherman's name get popped up with the Raiders. They do need defensive help. They need help along the line. They need some penetration. They need some, rushing off the edge. They do have some fine parts. Jonathan Abram, Max Crosby, some young cats like that. But they really do need some secondary help. Richard Sherman's up for, free agency and everything. So is Patrick Peterson. Not a bad 1-2 combo there. I'm not saying the Raiders can afford both of those guys, especially when they're already looking at extensions for some of their guys on offense and everything else. But they do need something. Is Richard Sherman that answer? He might be a good 1 or 2 year plug, but he's not a long-term answer. I mean, he is on the other side of that dreaded 30 number and everything. But, is he in his prime? Quarterbacks – they age very rapidly, just like running backs do in the NFL. Once they lose a little bit of speed or whatever, there goes their one of their biggest weapons. But he does have a huge football IQ. So could he be a locker room presence and help bring up some of these young guys they have drafted and everything else? Absolutely. But only time will tell. And but the Raiders need to do something, or it's going to be another kind of 500 season.
Yeah, no, you pointed out a good thing, and that was something I was going to bring up, and it's the same thing with Brady. We just said that, yes, Brady was the quarterback. Quarterbacks get the praise, but it's that defensive line. But more importantly, it's having someone like Brady who convinces you that, hell, shit, we could run through this wall. When you have a guy who has 6 Super Bowls, you listen. And the same thing with a Richard Sherman. He doesn't have those rings, but he has the respect of the league as a cornerback, that he knows what he's doing. And even more importantly, he was a part of that Legion of Boom and Gus Bradley. So bringing him in might not be the worst thing ever, because he could be just that fit that can tell guys where to be during this defensive scheme. And, because that was where they faltered at the end of the year, man. It was those long bombs dropping into people's hands. Hell, shit. Let's do that technique. Let's grab a little more. Let's do whatever cornerbacks need to do to get that upper hand. I mean, what'd you say? You ain't winning if you ain't cheating.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, baby.
Yeah, you ain't trying. Yeah. So,
this is a good point by Sal here. What's the salary cap going to look like too? Because of COVID. COVID's, you've seen in all the major leagues right now. Soccer was affected. They just had talks there. Major League Baseball's in the middle of talking to their guys about the caps and everything else. The NFL is not going to be far behind. Is the cap going to drop? Are they going to keep it the same? Is there going to be any kind of COVID flexibility? They haven't told anyone yet. So that's going to also come into play, because, again, the Raiders have a lot of young parts that they need to sign to longer-term deals, Aguilar's up, these guys like that were some of the few bright spots for the team, over the course of the season. So we're going to see. It's going to all start, kind of washing out here the next couple of weeks. It's going to be very interesting to see and try to wrap our heads around anyway over the next couple of weeks.
And we're not going to wrap our heads around it. It's John Gruden. It's John Gruden. Remember who he got rid of Khalil Mack going into week 1 that he was here. So, bro, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. I hope.
He's going to trade Derek Carr for some Trident Layers gum.
Oh my God! Well, do you think they should get rid of Carr?
No, man. No, I don't think so. Because the price tag on Deshaun Watson is going to be too high. So any thought of that is going to go away because you would basically tear down your entire team to bring another guy in. So why would you do that? And Derek Carr, I don't think Derek Carr was the biggest issue with this team. That defense was a glaring omission. So if you could get a huge haul for Carr or something like that, maybe, but who are you going to replace him with that's going to give you any better of a chance with that current defense and everything else? You know what I'm saying? So
people think they're already on the team. Mariota?
I don't
know. Yeah, some people.
I think we saw what we're going to see with Mariota. Did he fill in admirably? Yeah, but we saw who Mariota is with Tennessee. He got beat out by Ryan Tannehill, who was an absolute crap fest in Miami. So, do I think Marcus is is he a fine young man? Absolutely. Is he the long-term answer for the Raiders at QB? No, come on. Let's move that.
Did you say he's a fine young man?
He is a fine young man.
He's a scholar and a gentleman.
He is anyway.
Oh man. So we had Super Bowl this weekend. Man, the game really was a snoozer to say the least. It was, I was glad Brady won. I wanted to see greatness. I want to see how many of these he can get. Hell, I'm the same way with LeBron. How many can LeBron win? I'm not going to be upset if LeBron doesn't win anymore. I'm not going to be upset if Brady had. But just to see what, as you say, he could have crapped the bed, and he didn't. He stayed in there. He looked so sharp. He looked like a 25-year-old guy out there with zip on the ball. And it was fun to watch. It really was fun to watch. My girl, she had a spread out for us. Oh my God, we had the little sausage with the croissant.
Croissant.
Yeah. Oh
I didn't know where you were going with this.
No, yeah, no. See, I'm trying to
purple Prince lights. Purple Prince lights. When doves are about to cry over here, Mike's about to tell stories about little sausages.
Does cry.
Well, let's celebrate the huge news, right? It's Charles Woodson, first ballot Hall of Fame. Tom Flores finally, long overdue for the Hall of Fame. And these guys here, what a freaking week for Raider Nation and for these gentlemen personally, for their families and everything. Really amazing to kind of watch and how it all unfolds, and they surprise them at the house and everything. Watch just a couple of seconds of this little clip. If you missed them walking up on Charles Woodson on CBS.
Championship game.
A lot of great memories. Just winning the game, and
How you doing, Charles? Sorry to interrupt your interview, but I was trying to knock on the front door, and nobody was answering. Because we're here to deliver some great news.
Doing an interview.
I know.
And this what y'all, okay. So now I'm starting to think y'all was in on it.
Charles, it's my pleasure to welcome you to Canton. Congratulations.
We in the hall, man. We in the hall, man. I just unbelievable.
Amazing stuff, man. I got goosebumps again.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's that Michigan hat, man? Where's that?
Oh
Michigan
my
hat?
God. Yeah, that Gervais gave me. But man, that was like the coolest thing. That's one of the coolest things that the NFL Hall of Fame that they do is the surprise come to your door and the setup that they gave him. And it, 'cause, no, first of all, we can step back for when someone was coming up in his yard doing his interview. He was not really appreciating it.
Did you see that look at first? He was like,
Yeah, like
he had to register.
Yeah.
To register.
yeah, he was gonna let it be known. What was yeah, and
Somebody's
then,
about to get an old-fashioned Joe Jackson ass whooping.
oh my God, yeah, he's gonna put it on that head. He's gonna put it on that head. But then he's like, "Oh, so this is how y'all do it? Y'all do the pretend interview." So my man, okay, I see what we doing. You know, that was so. He, like you said, he put it all together. Then his mom being there, he said, "It didn't make sense when you came here. I just figured you'd be here." And no, dude, that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
So amazing, man. For
Yeah.
Tom and for Charles and like I said, their families and everything, their careers speak for themselves. Of course, Tom Flores, putting just like Sarah's saying right here, Hispanic coaches in the Hall of Fame, long overdue for Coach Flores. And so excited that they go in with that Raider silver and black. And we're going to talk about, Violator here in just a little bit about his journey and getting into the Ford Hall of Fans and all of that. So really kind of emotional week again with the 30 for 30 without Davis, and all of that. And by the way, what did you guys think of the 30 for 30? What did you think of the portrayals and everything? Like you said, I didn't know they were going to do the voice reenactments and the
Right.
All the CG stuff and FX and everything. It's really crazy. But what did you guys think? But before we go any longer, he's been waiting patiently, and I don't want to make, because he might get bored and just go plunder or something. I don't know, and I don't want that to happen. There's a lot of good people, not necessarily in Florida, but they're somewhere around there. I want to welcome in. It's a great guy. I can't wait for this. Captain Jack Rackham. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin, permission to come aboard.
I gotta do that, and definitely was enjoying. As I was telling Jeremy, it's normally I'm the host on the shows that I do, and I know what you're talking about as well, because, and trust me, I was enjoying it. I could be backstage and listen to y'all as well, but when I do my shows and I talk excessively, I don't know how long Jeremy talks, but people are saying like, dude, you gotta like shut up, because I'm backstage and I'm waiting on you and all I hear is this and so I understand. But no, we're good.
Oh shoot!
So, and I'll say hello to everybody that's out here watching. It's really awesome to be here. So again, as I was telling Jeremy, it's different being on the other side, because he gets to poke all the buttons and I just got to sit here and chat. That's up.
Oh no, that's the best thing about the show, Captain Jack, and welcome. This is MP, obviously. The other guy. People we're like twins. They can't tell us apart. The hats.
Yeah, brother by another mother. There you go.
That's it, baby. That's it. But man, looking at everything you have back there, I think you have everything.
No. This is only the minute portion. I showed Jeremy. Okay, I showed Jeremy, and Do you want me to do the scan? Because then my camera will be okay.
Do it.
This is only the portion that gets shown on camera as well. That's the other wall. Okay.
Wow.
There's the up there.
Wow.
That's the Raider Village train set. Okay. You see Al in the back. Oh shit! Of course, the camera is screwing up. It's not a Christmas tree. It's not a Hanukkah bush. That's a Raider tree. It's just it's a Festivus pole as well. I just haven't taken it down yet. I've been busy. You got the 6 foot Gruden over there, and behind Gruden, that's one of those hat stands that you would see in one of those stores. So there's about 300 just Raider hats on there. Okay. And up there, you got a bunch of mini helmets up there, all signed. You got the, what do we want? Oh, we're watching FBI. Sorry, guys. So we'll give a plug to CBS. You got the 60-inch screen with the bows. You got the 2 cabinets with let me see, 4, I think 10 of the large helmets all autographed, and there you go. And more stuff on the walls. That is Plunkett, Carr, and Davidson over there on that wall, with some more autographs up here. And again, sorry for the, more stuff here. Old school, with some of the Raider Nation family there. And I twisted around here, behind here as well. And my son gave me that. I love that, the Captain Jack, because I'm Navy and with the flag, so got that going as well. And I was going to say, I know I got my black hole thing around here somewhere. But yeah, if you see that, I'll move this over. Do you see behind the skull? That's actually my certificate. That's my black hole certificate. So I'm repping Cisco. That's my black hole certificate. So Cisco needs to come out here, and a couple pictures as well. So got my ship's wheel. So again, I will put that out again. Sorry
brother.
for the and again.
No,
just a little.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Just a few things here in the galleon. Just a few things here in the galleon. And since I've been here, well, Sarah, I'm the president here in Tampa, but I'll be more than happy to hang out in the TBH military chapter if I can do, whatever.
Yeah, we can do cross. We can do cross chapter.
I gotta ask the boss though. I gotta ask the boss. But yeah, if I'm allowed to, hell yeah, it's like 22 years Navy.
Wow.
And I'm still a contractor. So basically this has been my job in this room since like late March. I've been teleworking here. Not that I'm pissed off, mind you, because this is the greatest place to come to work every day. So and this is it.
Well, thank you for your service. Yeah,
well,
thank you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, like I said, 22 in the Navy and still working as a contractor at CENTCOM.
Wow.
And getting all that in before 35, you're a great man, sir. You're a great man. But how long have you been a fan of the Raiders?
I've been a fan since 1972, and I lived in Philadelphia. Hey, there's my girl, Vanessa. Love. There's one of my V's. Love my V's. I got V. I got Vanessa. I got Vicky. And I'm missing some of my V's. I call them my V girls. Love my V girls. So there you go. Vanessa's my Colorado V girl. I was a kid in 1972 living in Philadelphia. And so people that know me know that I'm a Philly kid, but it's Raiders overall for everything. And I appreciate being here. My job in the military was analysis for those 22 years, and I've been doing it as a contractor since. So, but getting back, Philly as a kid, and I went to school with George Blanda's either his nephew or his great nephew. And you talk to people nowadays, and except for the ones that actually know Raider lore, they'll say, George Blanda, who? And I'm like, go home.
Yeah.
Go home.
You're fired.
And learn history. And it's like if there's a certain, and I won't say his name, there's a certain quarterback here that's local that is vying for that. He's 43. He's still got to pop another 5 years to catch Blanda at 48, being in the NFL. So, and again, that's one thing I do not say that guy's name. I call him the most you're going to get out of me is Primatama. Okay. and that's being nice. When I do my broadcast, I do broadcasts for Colorcast. I actually stopped because there was so much hate and vitriol and bile coming out of my, for the local team. I call them the faux pirates, the fake pirates, all of that. And there's a loathe, hate, abhor, and despise comes to mind as the adjectives for the local team. So, but yeah, I'm in the belly of the beast here in Tampa, probably the worst place for a Raiders fan outside of, any area that has that Raider Niner mesh. If you're a Raider fan here in Tampa, because Up until the other day, all they did was live off the accolades of one game 18 years ago. That's all you would ever hear. One game 18 years ago. And you know, it's like I just did not want this team to win. And I wrote about it in my Facebook post. I said that people were saying that I'm a shithead because of the way that I feel about the team, but there's reasons behind it.
But now here's the question to me, though. Wasn't this like a worst of two evils with them playing Kansas City? I mean, it's
I got you. But see, I tell people, I said, you don't live here. I do. You don't live here. I do. And in my Facebook diatribe, I will talk about the amount of times that my car and my house has been vandalized and with graffiti. And one person actually took a knife to the hood of my vehicle and scratched that up. And because I had like a big Raider shield on my Jeep. So when you live like that, when people are that despicable, and that's why I call them the 99%ers. I have some good friends that are true fans, and they are the 0.010101%ers that I actually have a little bit of happiness for because they are true Buccaneer fans. And, so I'm happy for them. But again, I live here. The only other positive thing about it was watching Kermit, Darlene, State Farm, Cojones cry on the field. That's what I call them. So there you go. And that's my name. You know, I don't call them. It's Kermit, Darlene, State Farm, Cojones. Okay. You know, again, that's at least kind. I'm at least actually putting a name to that face because I won't call that other guy Primatama. Primatama is the best he's going to get, or 12.
I don't say his name that often either. I just call him Baby Jesus. He performs miracles.
No. That's Tim Tebow, shipmate.
No. Tim Tebow was a false prophet.
Well, see, I say this to folks as well because I'm a Gator. I said Tim Tebow was fabulous on Saturday. Orange and blue is fabulous on Saturday, just not on Sunday.
There you go.
Yeah. He crapped his pants. He crapped his pants in the NFL. That's for sure.
He did. Yes, he did.
He had a brief moment. He had a cup of coffee in the meantime.
He had one good pass in a playoff game.
That was a hell of a pass.
Yeah, and won a playoff game prior to even Peyton Manning, and I'll say that for the Donkeys. And that's what he lived off of for years. He would have been a hell of a great like an H-back, but he was so egotistical he could not put himself to saying, "Oh no, I'm going to play quarterback." Dude,
I thought he would have made a great tight end or something like that. I mean,
H-back, tight end, something like that. Even you would have had an option because again, he didn't throw very well even at Florida. He's a big running buck. And and they should have used him like that as such. So, MP, am I scaring you? That's why you moved back from the team?
Oh no, I'm enjoying the show. I'm enjoying it. No,
okay,
yeah, shipmate. No, I love you. You are my guy. This is. Yeah.
I just saw it like he's moving back. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. He gets nervous. White guys with beards. He kind of.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the candor, and that is so funny. That is one game, and in fact, I was sitting here thinking the one game that Tebow threw. Had he not been left-handed, he would not have been able to make that pass. You know, it was literally based on him being left-handed and going across. So
right, and he shot put it too.
Yeah, right. So that's what I was literally thinking about when I was leading back on. Yeah, I remember that game. Yeah, I watched it live. But
I'm old, man. I got a plethora. There's your key word for the day. You know, plethora of knowledge, a cornucopia of sports knowledge. So there you go.
Well, then the big question is, with all the knowledge that you have, what was the best moment that you had? And I'm going to assume you've been to the black hole, correct?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is your best moment? One of your best moments?
I would say the best moment that right off was my first victory in Oakland, and I'll tell you what it was. It was the Thursday night game against Kansas City when we were 0-10. We played them on a Thursday night, and I've been to Oakland for several times, but I guess I never caught Oakland when we were there as a as a powerhouse. I got my first season tickets when I came back from Guantanamo in 2014. So, I got my season tickets there. I've had season tickets since then, by then. But again, every game that I saw, I remember Monday night games, watching the Garglers and the Donkey spank us on like the first Monday night games.
I'm sorry. Did you say the Garglers?
The Garglers. Come on, man. Stay with me, man. Garglers, Donkeys. Come on. If you don't know Captain Jackism, you're going to know him after tonight there, big guy. But I went to plenty of games there. But my first victory in Oakland was that 0-10 Thursday night game, Derek Carr's season, where, and we almost lost it because a certain 50 who, I don't ever say that guy's name either, and I got a lot of his jerseys. Okay, it's 50 who, because I got a lot of his jerseys, and I won't wear I won't wear any of those jerseys until they become like an old school thing, like when he retires, or if he comes back a la Woodson, then I'll wear them again. And by the way, I had a Woodson jersey from the Super Bowl year. And of course, it fit. Well, it's a little tight, but I was wearing the same Woodson jersey that I had then. I just, I went from old school to brand new type of thing, so it was great. But 50 who, when he went offside, and thank God for Tuck calling a timeout, because him, and I think it was 50 who, and I think was a C.O. Moore or somebody else who was offside with him, and he called timeout to make sure that that next play, that Kansas City wouldn't have gotten an offsides on us. I also remember that game. That was the game that Latavius Murray had the long touchdown run, and then like the next time he touched the ball, he had a concussion. So but I remember that game well. But the emotions of that game, my first win in Oakland as a longtime Raider fan, and again had been there many times, had never seen a victory. I cried because it was that important to me, walking out with a victory, especially when we were 0-10. I had went to the game the previous Sunday down in San Diego, down the street from where I used to live in San Diego at the Murph. I ain't calling it Qualcomm. I'm too friggin' old. It was the Murph, Seeing the game in San Diego and walking out of there just pissed off, and then going up to that game in Oakland on Thursday night was my fondest memory of any game in Oakland. Then I saw a bunch of other games there, when we started winning every once in a while. So, but you always remember your first one. That's what she said.
Not only does he tell his own joke, he backs it up with a joke.
Look at this. Look at this. My man is laughing. Violator's been waiting patiently back there, but he was cracking up.
Violator and I know me very well, because we do a lot of shows together. And Wayne, I love you, brother. And if I don't make this man laugh, then I'm not doing something right.
I get that. That's my job. That is my job and my show. So I understand, Captain Jack. I understand. Oh my God. Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought him on, because I would go all night and then Wayne would be like, that dude, shut him up. I need to get on the show too.
No, it's priceless, man. Look, just listening to you, Cap, is priceless, bro. I'm backstage and I'm like, just keep the curtains closed so I can just bust up, man. Nobody knows that side of you, see?
Well, yeah, because I'm normally like mediating or taking phone calls on my other shows. So the shows that I do with Wayne and the shows that we do together, we do one, and great. I got to plug it, because we do a show with Ref Guru, and it's NFL Nation Live. It's on Wednesdays during the season. It's myself and Wayne and Ref Guru, and occasionally we'll get Homer up in there when he's not busy. And also Wayne and I and Homer, as well as Ken Thompson for SportsX Radio of Vegas. We do a show for the Fan Media Network, for Raider Fan Media, and it's wonderful. So I get a chance to kind of like cut up and be me instead of taking calls and listening to other, which is fine. I like doing that, but I get a chance to kind of like be me and cut up a little bit more when I get a chance to not have to mediate like Jeremy does tonight.
Well, you know what? I couldn't be happier to mediate between you two guys who are legends here in Raider Nation and everything. But let's pivot real quick. First off, and just say congratulations, Wayne, on the Ford Hall of Fame. I know Raider Nation went crazy when we found out. So, number one, just off the top of my head, how can you describe how it felt when you finally got the yeah, hey man, you're in?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. And look, me and Cap too, that's a dynamic duo right there. But I want to talk about the Raiders trifecta that happened this past Friday for me. And just to be included with, the great Charles Woodson and a legend himself in Coach Flores, long overdue for this award. I'm glad to see him getting his flowers. Like I've said on this show before, while he's here, that made me feel proud. And you know who I got the news from? Was none other than David Baker himself when he knocked on my door because I wouldn't cry. And he says, well, I just knocked on two of your other Raider players' doors, and they both broke down. And I'm looking at him like, are you serious right now? I've been prepared for this my whole life. And to get that knock just validated everything. When he stepped in that light blue jacket, it was on, dude. I'm talking to David like I've known him for 50 or 60 years. And I could see the fan coming out of him as he had to stay to the script. But I'm pulling that fan out of him like, look, let's talk like bros here. Come on, big dog. Because Howard already, gave me forewarning how big he was. But when he stepped in the room, you're the same size as me. Let's go.
No, Wayne, you are larger than him when you step into that room. It's just an optical illusion. He looks a little bit bigger than you. Trust me on that.
But see, that goes back to the size of the dog. They got no instrument that can measure that 6 inches between your breastplate and your lungs. You can't measure that, man. That's called heart.
No, you can't. No, that is a big thing. And well, Wayne, so you had your big moment. When did you find that? Were you going to the Super Bowl before that, or did they take you to the Super Bowl? How did all that work out?
Well, as far as the Super Bowl was concerned, that was part of the deal. We were already going. Of course, they don't give you your tickets to the morning of to make sure you showed up. It was funny, man. Look, but quite the experience. I couldn't even put it in words how much stuff was compacted into, say, 4 days or 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Pretty much no sleep. I'm still recovering now, but the memories, and Cap can agree with it. He stopped by our hotel, and we chopped it up for about an hour or so. Best feeling in the world to know that, oh, wow. And
there you guys are.
and look, you can't make this stuff up. And to run into, this young kid that I remember as a young runt.
Right. That's awesome.
He's just, and he spoke to me like a Raider. He got my attention. Cap and I were going out to take photos and say goodbyes. We hear his voice. Raiders? I turned immediately like, who is this big son of a bitch talking shit to us? True story. And Cap can vouch for it. I'm like, who the hell are you? Because he's all covered up. I'm like, who the hell are you standing over there like 6'6"? Talking shit to us. So when we got closer and he kept talking, I picked up the long voice. And I'm like, no way. And I waited for him. he's like, oh yeah, he started going back to the LA Coliseum days. Oh, and my mom went to SC, and I'm like, oh, that's who you are.
Is that
Seeing him in
Kyle?
person, man? After
That's Kyle.
after almost 30 years, I'm like, dude, I feel old as hell. But the kid is genuinely, he remembers me growing up when I was young myself and growing up.
Right.
That just shows you legacy means everything, man, because you can't make these memories up. They happen.
Awesome.
If you were there, you were fortunate. Cap and I were just talking about that after he graciously took photos with us, talk crap. You know, we ran into some KC fans that were in the hotel where I was staying, and we treated them like ambassadors, like I feel are supposed to treat the opposition. This is a gentleman's game, and if you can't put aside all the politics and just talk fan to fan. Now, I happen to see those, Cap. This is for you. I happen to see those same two females on the bus going to the stadium. They were part of that entourage. You can't make this stuff up. So I saw them pre-game and post-game.
And I bet you they were you like slumping dogs, you know, in shells.
But I had the blessing of sitting there soaking up the pre-game chatter and then the post-game chatter, and I said nothing either way. And they knew I was sitting there and inside ear to ear. I'm like, yeah, you got it pushed in on national TV.
Oh man!
Not pushed in, baby. Not pushed in.
It's rare that he gets me to move side to side on. There you go. Push in.
See, right? Using this right here is when you cut the break while we.
That's a flag. Call it a flag on that one.
There was no flags. I had one, but I didn't throw it. But in my silence, I said a whole lot because I'm rated out, and they're like, "Yeah, we know you're in love with this a little bit too much." I never said a word other than, "Yeah,
oh my God.
I feel your pain," but I know it got pushed in on national TV, and I call it when you get beat that bad, you get it pushed in and tucked. Diamond tuck. Yeah.
Now remember that's a bad word though, Wayne. That T word. Yeah, no, that.
Well, I had a sign, brother. That's in the archive saying tuck this.
Oh gosh. Wow. I love you guys.
But being in that situation, you could make that up in 1,001 years. The same people you and I talked to the night before. Yeah, I saw them on the bus, and they were still talking.
Okay.
Me and the wife were just sitting there being cordial, like, okay, yeah. We happened to be here. When the game was over, the bus filled up. It was like somebody was at a wake. Yeah. And they had to let out the frustrations, but we didn't respond. We just sit there like, yeah, we feel your pain. But now, they were like,
did they engage you in any of that? Like trying to
they tried to. But look, I'm rock steady. I'm like, I was there, so I saw what happened. I got nothing to say because the game said it all, man.
Yeah.
That was a game where we saw number 12. We won't say no name.
He knows me, and I appreciate it.
TB12. No, that's a picture out of mine. TB12 and 87 just whooped ass religiously. And again, to Coach Rhodes, dude, if he was wearing that silver and black, look out, because that defense would have his attitude. I watched that from the beginning of the game. They shut down everything that P-Homie and all those other animals. You know, you got cheetahs.
Yeah, she was talking about the cheetah too. Like, oh, cheetah this.
The cheetah was in a cage all night, bro. All night. They had him caged. He had to show his ID to get out to breathe.
Yeah, cheetah looked like it. Remember in the Richard Pryor show when he was talking about the cheetah, you know, and then the gazelle did, you know, like the gazelle did like this, and the cheetah goes tumbling by. That's what cheetah looked like. Was the cheetah in the Richard Pryor Sunset Strip, you know, because they went like this, and the cheetah and just he couldn't do anything.
Well, I summed it up like this. I'm sitting there watching it, and I couldn't say nothing because I had a row of red, and it wasn't Tampa Bay right in front of me.
Right.
And, we doing fist bumps, and I'm like, I'm the enemy, bro. I don't know what you fist bumping me for, but
Did you have
I've
any
got no
Raider?
skin in the game, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting for a good game. Now, that's what I call it. I'm thinking this is going to be, remember, high 30s, low 40s type game. When that Tampa D come out there, bro, they sit, and we've talked about this on your show before. When the defense sets the tone, it's hard to come back from that.
Mm-hmm.
So TB12 had an easy day.
Yeah.
Because that D, we ain't having it on this field tonight. Forget about it. And look, I heard pass popping, and I'm up by the ship where the cannon is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing pass popping. I'm like, oh my God, this is a Super Bowl. Like I said, put it this way, gentlemen, TV don't do it justice.
I was going to ask that.
TV does not do the game justice. Now, they're fans from both teams, but these aren't the blue collar folks there all season long.
Right.
Now, maybe a few of them sprinkle in, but it was more cardboard cutouts by me and security, of course, behind me. But this is a different fluctuation of fans. And when the game starts to slip away from us, we raise hell. Wake the hell up. This game was almost clinical. It was like sterile. And I almost wanted to shout, but I couldn't say nothing. I couldn't say a word. These fans don't know how to respond when their team is down and they need you. You didn't hear that, oh, let's rise up, or what, like we say, let's go. You didn't feel that in the stadium, man. And it's bombarded by commercials and selling and blah, blah, blah. Now, when that D came out, bro, at the end of the second quarter, I was telling my wife, man, they can't come back from this.
No.
And I told her when Patrick did that long run for the first down, he re-injured. Well, it was already injured, but he aggravated that toe. He came up limping. He was never the same. And Coach Rhodes, those two tackles that were missing, they tried to play that down. You can't play that down in the Super Bowl. Sue and who's the other defensive man?
JPP.
JPP.
Mm-hmm.
It was time to eat fresh meat, and it had number 15 on the jersey. And they met there often and viciously. He had a different look in his eye than I've seen ever.
Mm.
Yeah, it was a good game. It was clinical from the defensive standpoint, but I was going to ask that question if it just looked different because you really didn't see the play of the cornerbacks. And so I'm assuming that the cornerback were just playing just as raw and just getting up in people. Jeremy and I were just talking about that. That's what we need.
Brother, listen, gentlemen. You talk about a physical game. When you talk about a team studying film, now that 2 weeks, them guys wasn't playing video games. They were watching video of KC. Everything they tried, they shut it down with conviction and told them about it. It was so much I'm going to keep it clean. There was so much trash talking on the field. And I'm telling the wife, look, the referee was like, damn, do we need to put gloves on these guys? It was so much trash talking. And when Fournette came into the game, he started, he took a break. The other guy, Robinson, I think his name. Jones.
Rojo.
They had Rojo. They had no answer. They must have left their Pepto at KC because they had no answer for that stomachache they were giving them. To see a defense forget the points. To see a defense just dominate. As a defensive guy, I was so proud. I'm like, why isn't this guy got a head coaching job? They strategically took down that Kansas City versatile offense. Kelsey, that's the one I wanted to focus on. When they made the switch, they let Kelsey get a few catches, and I'm thinking, why don't they put some guy? By the time I said that, they switched over. They put 54.
Devontae David. Yeah.
Shut Kelsey down. Kelsey had a butt ache after the end of the game, man. He was so up in his hip pocket, man. He was checking his change.
And yeah, he got pushed in too.
It was a physical game.
Yes, he did.
And like
Yes,
I say, the offense of Tampa Bay, they put that run game. I thought it was going to be a passing flurry. That running attack, mano a mano, that old line beat the shit out of KC's D line.
No, yeah, they did. They beat him down like they didn't even know it was coming. That was so because I always thought there was going to be this point where they came back, but no.
They knew it was coming, but they couldn't do nothing about it. That's even more demoralizing.
Right.
Yeah, that truly is when you can't stop an ass whooping. When you can't stop an ass whooping, and your big brother can't come and help. You know, and your big brother can't help. So overall, it sounded like you guys had a great time in Tampa, and you know the hospitality they treated you, especially you, Wayne, like you know the king you were for that day. And were you able to represent the Raiders, or were you just really kind of? Well, hell, you were a Raider fan, so wouldn't they expect you to do that? How did that work?
I was fully dressed. I wasn't in battle gear, but I was definitely representing Raiders. When I stepped in, security's like, oh, and they had already seen all of the Hall of Fame stuff. So they, oh, you're that guy. We saw that. So they were taking pictures with me, and I'm thinking, and the Tampa Bay and Chiefs fan was like, what the hell are they taking pictures with this guy for? Walks off, very big stick. Remember that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but that would have to look weird.
That was an experience. Being that first time experiencing that in person, it changed my perspective. It's just a big show, for lack of a better term. And I felt bad for fans like me who will probably never be able to attend one of these events because it's so blown out of. It's like a game on steroids. Wow. But it's corporate America coming together to party, not the true blues that root these guys on week in and week out.
Here's my biggest question to you, Wayne Mabry. If this was 30-year-old Wayne Mabry, would you be talking to us right now, or would you just be laying in bed just out still?
Ooh. Ooh.
He said,
ooh. Good question, Mike. Look, answer though. 30 years ago? Wow. I couldn't even put a sentence together, probably. First of all, I wouldn't have any voice. Now, I didn't do any yelling, so I'm good. I didn't do any yelling. Had this been a Raiders Super Bowl, we probably had to have a what do you call it? Translation, or either a little bottom line to interpret what I'm saying. I stood there, man, just in quiet and just full of, like, I'm seeing this butt whooping coming, and I'm like, woo. And the KC fans in front of me, there was another row of Buccaneers fans right in front of them. I thought that was going to be the Hatfields and the McCoys before the game was over. Oh, man, you talk about brings out the ugly. But then the older gentleman finally took his clan out, like, let's go. We can't tuck our tail no more. Let's leave. And I'm just like, wow, man. But like I said, it's an experience. TV doesn't do it justice. It's so much that we miss. So to be there and see all this other stuff, look, minus commercials, off the charts. Off the chart. You get to watch both teams adjust. Andy Reid had no answer. Eric Bieniemy had no answer. When they shut the run game down, matter of fact, Sue and JPP and
in that ass like suppository.
Vita Vea pushing from the middle.
Ooh, and Big Vita, look, man child. He dominated the center of it. Wasn't no runs up by him. None. So just to watch that in person, that's how you see all. You remember how they would lift it up? Everybody was like, "Oh, KC, they're gonna bring what were they saying? We're gonna bring it back or take it back, run it back." They got run out.
That exactly.
They got run out. That's what got happened. Kudos to the coaching staff, man. You know, all respect to that coaching staff. That team never lost composure. I saw the other team lose composure on several occasions because of the pressure and the disbelief that this can't be happening to us. Yeah, it is. But I couldn't even point and say that. Yes, it is. I had to be quiet.
See,
But-
that is so funny you bring that up. That's in watching this game, that's the one thing that I wanted to happen is that they needed to be learnt that day. You know, they needed to be taught and brought back down, knocked down a notch. And, it's, Jeremy said, hey, every year, it's nothing is guaranteed because you have Mahomes. But I think they was just too full of themselves. And, going 14-2, I get it. But, there was a wrench thrown in that machine. And, man, like you said, they was putting feet up in the ass. Yeah.
Well, remember,
I noticed it pregame. They came out with all that swag and that woo-woo. Well, you can talk stuff on the corner, but when you got to go down the alley, who's talking?
Hey,
separate the men from the boys, and that's what we saw.
You got to remember, though, MP, they actually only lost one game this year, and they lost it to us because you can take that last game out because nobody was playing. The only team other than the two Pirates beat them this year. We whooped that ass in Kansas City on their turf with their starters, okay? And Tampa did it on their home field the second time because they weren't successful the first time. That last game of the season, that wasn't KC, man. That was a scrub team that was put out just to basically fill out the week. So the two teams that won, hey Kaylee, how you doing, honey? The two teams that won, the Pirates whooped them both. Okay, Las Vegas and Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
that's right.
No, they were.
Yeah, there's blood in the water, boys. There's blood in the water. That's it. That's all you need for the Sharks to start circling.
It was nice seeing the Sharks eat, and they were eating that red meat. That's what got me. They were feasting, brother.
Yes,
you talking
they
about
did.
A buffet? They went from one end to the other. It was like they had no answer. The side you can see. I'm watching their sideline from where I was sitting. They had no answers. No answers. Trust me.
Man.
And the frustration on the sideline was worse than you saw on the field.
Okay, well, I know we got a little time left, but I want to ask you guys both, knowing what you saw on Sunday. One, do the Raiders have the pieces? And two, is Gus Bradley the guy to help put these pieces to do what you just saw?
Wayne, you want that first?
Listen, I'm not going to write Gus off, but the pieces, that's questionable. Now, if I saw some biting, you don't always go biting the dog, this and that. I don't see that hunger. Until we get somebody in there that's just nasty, that fits this to a T, and we know what we talk about over our history, until we get a guy in there like that fits this shield, it's just lip service. We can't beat teams with smoke and mirrors. Yeah, we can score points, but until we get somebody knocking people around like Tampa Bay did, oh my God.
And remember as well, we're
singing to the choir.
Right. We're playing 11 on 19 every game. And you heard that right. It's 11 on 19 because it's our 11 versus their 11, the 7 that's on the field, and the 1 dude in New York. And when you're playing 11 on 19 every day, that's a hell of a thing that you have to overcome. Now, the Raiders of old in the 70s and the 80s, they played 11 on, well, at that time, actually, I think they had more officials on the field. They kind of dropped down. I used to say like 11 on 21. It was about 10 dudes on the field. But we need to get back to that. We need to get back to whooping that ass and being so good that we don't care that the flags are going to be coming a mile a minute. We got to be able to beat the team in front of us without worrying about the penalties, because the Raiders are going to be the most penalized team, or at least top 5 in the league every year bar none. Why? Because we wear the shield, and it doesn't matter from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s to the aughts to the teens. Because we wear that shield, it's never going to change. You can't tell me that they have a player that's been playing all these years from the 70s to now that should be getting flags all the time. It's because of the shield. The Raiders need to have that invincibility, that inspired, that can of whoop ass, the dog that my boy Wayne is talking about. We need to get that back. Now, you're talking about, do we have it? Remains to be seen. We need to win and build that big defense, just like our boy Homer was saying. We need to build that defense up because we've been spending way too much time talking about the offense, okay? I'll play quarterback, and I suck at quarterback. If you think Tim Tebow sucks, I'm an offensive lineman. I can't throw the ball. Tim Tebow has more skills as a quarterback than me, but I'll play quarterback if you take that money from DC and build up all the other people there, okay? Build that defense and get some people that have heart. Get some people that want to hit. And by the way, I love my boy Abram, who has that fire in him, but check him down a few notches because there's emotion, and then there's kind of the bad emotion of playing beyond what you need to play. We need the coaching that Bradley should be able to bring in, but we need the horses as well. You fix that defense with the right people, you will be good to see. I chased MP out of here. I always say that. He got scared of me again, man.
He got scared and left.
I'm sorry, MP. Come back, MP. Come back, bro. But yeah, we need to build that up.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely right. We, again, just, now it's the start of a new season. Now it's the official 2021 season. So all that's behind us and everything. We've got the draft coming up, free agency. We talk. The offense got the love this season, and they did a lot of good things. Carr, had a career year and kind of thing. But that defense, we're only gonna be carried as far as that defense will allow us to go. And we have some good young parts, David Arnett, Abram, Crosby, a couple of those guys. We need some push on that defensive line. We need, like you guys alluded to, man, we need that piss and vinegar. We need that, fire and brimstone. We need, bring some of that Raider smash mouth ball back into it, keep it between the tackles and everything, keep it clean as you possibly can. But, we're not going to get far if we can't stop them. If they, I think the stat a couple of weeks ago was the offense was the fourth most prolific in Raiders history, but the defense gave up the most points in franchise history. You can't have that. We can't get into a shootout every single game. And they showed, they did show, life whenever we beat KC, early in the season when we were still flying high, and they looked unbeatable at the time and everything. But, we can't rest on those laurels from last year. MP's returned. He's no longer scared.
MP,
he got a crucifix.
You okay, brother? Okay.
I'm good, man. I survived.
Okay, because I said I scared MP off the screen again. There you go.
But you know what, Jeremy? I like to just interject a little bit with this. Now, Cap and I are some OGs with gray beards and all that stuff. But that passion we speak on, we don't just say these things lightly, and we're never saying anything to offend because we love these guys dearly. But here's a caveat. But it's about nastiness, and I saw that in person. We saw Tampa Bay's D over the season. TV doesn't even do them justice. When you see the veracity in which these guys will land licks at every chance, they even had Kelsey looking over his shoulder after Devontae switched on him. Devontae was putting it on him. That physicality is what wins championship. Forget me if 50 points are on the board with your offense and you give up 51. That's like pouring out fresh dishwater. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, there
So
you go. Man.
until we become nasty again, and I'll say it because I've been preaching it for 20 years. We are not nasty, and that's what this means.
You know who, and it's the fact that you're saying that. Indominus Sue, actually, he fits the Raider moniker. He will step on your balls, and he'd be like, "Hey, his balls was there. He should have moved his balls. I
You're
bet
on the
you he won't
field.
be
You're
laying
on
there.
the field.
Yeah, yeah. Don't tell me he poked me in the eye. Did I really poke you in your eye? No, I like it.
Yeah,
I
can
like
you
it.
prove it?
A Sue will apologize for only stepping on one of the balls because he missed the
He
second
missed the
one.
second one. There you
Yeah.
go, Cam. He missed the second one. Yeah.
That's it. So no, you're truly right, and that's I'm not going to disrespect him by saying he's a hired assassin, but he is good at what he does, and that's bring that pain. And it would be so cool. I don't know how we could get Sue.
But
Was he
he's been
30?
a free agent the last couple of years there, MP. He was there for the taking. He was
Wow.
there for the taking when he went from Miami to Los Angeles, and then he was on the books again, and Bucks got him the 1 year, and he was available again, and he picked him up again. And oh, by the way, guess who's a free agent again, MP? And Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah, no, I like him, and and it's when you look at somebody like that in the locker room, it's just an attitude. You'd be like, "Oh, we running into walls today? I didn't know that." You just start running into walls. So I like it. I like it a lot.
I've witnessed that 3 times in my fandom in person. When I first started going to games, we had Matt Miller. Well, you're not going to go nowhere near him and not get hit and hit hard. Second time was when we picked up Romo from the Niners. Total change in the mentality of that defense. We'll take some flags, but we're trying to set a tone. And I got to mention my boy, Reagan Upshaw. I love you, brother. What does it take to knock a quarterback out? What did he tell me? Nothing. So anyway, and what was my third guy? Oh, but I'm just saying that those are the guys that I see that bring an attitude to the defense, and that's what that team was built on. When I started watching it, the defense would just I used to call it body bag game because 11 men would come in, 11 wouldn't leave, not walking, and that's what made me a fan. Us, the 2 swords, we're freaking pirates. We sail the seas, we go into battle, and we know we're going into battle. So take what you want, like the great Al said.
Take it. It's up for the grabs. It's up for the grabs. Well, guys, we're at the end of this, but before we go, I want to give condolences. As we all know, today something tragic happened. Marty Schottenheimer, passed at I want to say at the young age of 77. He was on the other side of the ball of us for so many seasons, so many years. But for something like this, he was, I'm not sure, but I know it's touched a lot of families. Alzheimer's, he's been battling that. So just want to say praise to his family, for me personally, and I'm sure, like you said, we're competitors. We off the field is one love. So let's make sure we keep that family in our prayers.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. And, just from the competitor standpoint, I mean, you're going to talk about a Raider killer. I mean, 27-7 in his coaching career against the Raiders. Well, my man had it out for our team, man. But
the inspiration for Raider Week, baby, because it was when Kansas City had their Raider Week because of Schottenheimer. It was a thing because it really wasn't a thing for so long until he brought that back to Kansas City, and then he brought that back down in San Diego as well. Marty Schottenheimer brought that FU to the silver and black because he knew how important it was to beat the Raiders within the division. And again, you got to admire that. But I tell you what, my buddy lived in Virginia when when Schottenheimer was up there with one of the AFL franchises up there, and he saw him, when he was losing to Alzheimer's. And said what a fantastic gentleman it was to actually talk to Marty Schottenheimer in Virginia. So it's a loss for everybody because a great gentleman.
Yeah. Great famous story legendary story, Schottenheimer, his pettiness with the Raiders, man, when Dion wouldn't play for him in Washington and instead, was granted his release or whatever, and Dion wanted to join the Raiders for their Super Bowl run, and Schottenheimer claimed him off of the waiver wire, so he couldn't do it, just killed all that, man. Beautiful story. I mean, it sucks for us, but, that's competition, man. That's football and everything, but the ultimate competitor, a great coach, and, a little bit of sad news mixed in with so much great stuff that happened for Raider Nation this week, and for personally our friend here, Wayne Mabry. And congratulations once again. Thank you so much for everything you do for Raider Nation, for everything that you represent for our whole crew, coast to coast and around the world, man. Congratulations from the bottom of our hearts. We know we're super excited to have gotten to know you over the season, and we couldn't be more proud to be associated with not only the Black Hole but Raider Nation and you guys personally. So thank you so much for both of you guys coming on the show and chat with us and making me laugh my ass off. And I can't wait. And you guys, you mentioned it again. You guys have your own show, and I know, Wayne, your YouTube. If you want some hilarious videos, some great sports videos, go to Captain Jack's YouTube. Put it in there. You can find them real easy. Captain Jack Rackham Levy. Is it Levy or Levy?
No, I love you. You actually pronounced my name correctly. You're one of the few.
Touchdown.
That's right, brother.
Yeah, so you guys go there along with Raider Homer and so many other guys in Raider Nation. You have your podcasts and your video casts and everything. Go out there and support these guys. Subscribe to the channels. Do everything just like you do with us. We appreciate it. I know they appreciate it. And you can tell they got some hilarious, freaking hilarious
stories that will punch your ass in.
and trust me, the stuff that's on, you don't even see that or hear the best stuff, because that's what is it, backstage or off camera. It's unfortunate, but oh well.
That's it.
But we got a lot of good stuff on camera too. Make sure that you're watching Wayne and I and Homer with us as well. So, and gentlemen, thank you for having me on. I got to say, by the way, I am the president of the Tampa Bay Black Hole chapter. If you're in my neck of the woods, come and see me and come and see the folks down here. We're getting established and we're going to be good to go.
There you go. Yeah, that little thing. We totally missed up. They pointed that.
By the way. Yeah. And Cisco, I made sure. Tampa Bay chapter of the Black Hole.
Yeah. Tampa Bay chapter of the Black Hole. And so you go down there, you meet up with Captain Jack. It's always going to be a really great time and a great night and plenty of laughs and everything. And probably a visit to a jail or a deserted island somewhere where he hides his plunder. That's a Captain joke. There you
go. His booty. And his booty.
He has his
booty in one more ways than one.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you guys so much.
Thanks for having us on again, gentlemen. And like I told you when I first come on this show, love what you guys are doing. Keep inspiring Generation Next. All we are scribes who are telling a story of history that we remember and the history going forward. So just keep leaving footprints, man. These platforms should not go to waste. That's all I want to say. Because there's a lot of stuff that you can't Google on a phone, but the real stories with guys like us just chopping it up, that's going to be the new TV going forward. Trust
me. Oh, I believe
it.
Right. I believe it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Have a great night. We appreciate it. Rest well. Raider Nation, man. Love you guys. Yeah. Can't wait to talk to y'all both again soon.
Anytime. We got our numbers.
Boom, boom.
Gentlemen. See you guys. There you go. Now we know the success, the formula to success, man. Just bring on Captain Jack and Wayne, and then we just sit back.
Sit back.
We don't have to do anything. That's it. You know, give me a little bit of whiskey. I finish my whiskey here, but give me a little bit of whiskey, and I'll just listen to their stories the entire night. That's all I need to do.
They have better stories than we did. Who are we?
Yeah.
Who are we?
You're right. You see my ugly mug? Get out of here. Come on.
Yeah.
So the numbers start dropping.
Oh my God! If we didn't have guests, Jesus Christ, what we do? This would have stopped years ago. This would have stopped.
Welcome to the show. Yeah. We know Sarah and Josh, Cisco, Rob, and now Captain Jack and Wayne. So I guess that means we've hit big time.
We're in. I love being in.
Especially after having drinks with Sarah and Josh. That was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
He said,
that was a great time. Yeah, that's a great time. I would never then. No,
younger generation, right? It is. But thank you, everyone, for checking in. We love and appreciate you guys. We say it every single week, but we mean it. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing our show. Tons of shares on there. We appreciate it. We love all the comments, love the feedback. We cannot wait. Draft shows coming up in April, right? April and everything.
Yeah,
so we're going to have more and more. And kind of branch out. We got some surprises around the corner for some guests and things like that. So as soon as we get it all lined up, that's it. We'll have it. So for MP, I'm Jay Long. Welcome and thank you for tuning in. TBH Unleashed, right? That's what we do. All right. Cisco, go eat some dinner, man.